PHA. Woo, those AKAs.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Deja. Thank you so much for tuning in. So if you don't know me, hi, I'm Deja. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So today we are going to be talking about legacies and not joining the organization that you're a legacy of, if that makes sense. So I got a question from a subscriber the other day, and she basically asked me like, hey Deja, my family, like everybody in my family is a member of this organization, and she said I'm technically a legacy. I'm like, no sis, you are a legacy, but whatever. And she was just like, but I'm not interested in that organization. I don't like the girls on the campus. They just don't seem like people that I would be around, and the organization itself doesn't speak to me. And then she goes on to say that she's interested in another organization, but she knows that the girls that she's a legacy of, the organization that she's a legacy of, knows that she's a legacy. So she asked me basically how to go about joining another organization and telling your family that you're not going to be continuing the legacy. So I'm not a legacy whatsoever. I was the first person in my family to go Greek. And yeah, I'm going to give you my best advice. So obviously I can't really relate. So I apologize if it doesn't really help you that much, but I know a lot of people that watch my videos are legacy. So, you know, if you guys are willing to chime in to help her, definitely comment down below respectfully and share your thoughts on the topic. And then people who are legacies of an organization that didn't join that organization, share your thoughts as well. So yeah, so a lot of people are very uptight. Like this one time I was talking to this guy at some Greek picnic that I went to, and he was just like, oh hey, stuff like that, like how are you, da 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 da. And I was just like, oh, I'm fine, blah blah blah. So then somehow we got on the topic of like our Greek affiliations and, you know, our parents and stuff like that. And he was just like, yeah, you know, like everybody in my family is a Kappa. That's why I went Kappa. You know, I got to continue the legacy. My son this, my son that. And he was just like, yeah, you know, like if I ever have a son, like, you know, he got to be a Kappa. Like he can't be nothing else. And I was just like, oh, that's what's up. And he was like, what about you? What about your mom? And I was just like, well, my mom is a Zeta, a meek guy. Now, a lot of people don't know what that is. They just hear Zeta and they think, oh, okay, Zeta. And he was like, wait, what? He was like, your mom is a Zeta and you went AKA? What? Oh, no, that's like, that could never happen. Like, he was just doing too much. He was just like, yeah, my son, if my son ever, I'm not paying for anything. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And like, I don't know, maybe I can't relate because I'm not a legacy, so I don't understand the importance of continuing something like that. Like even now, if I was to have a child, which I don't want to have a girl, I want to have 2 boys. But if I was to have a girl, God gave me a girl instead of my 2 boys. And I don't have kids, so calm down, but I'm talking about in the future. But like if I was to have a girl and she wanted to be like a SG row or a Delta or a Zeta, whatever, like, or join, she wouldn't join. She would have to stay in the D9 community. She couldn't join the other room. But if she didn't want to go AKA, then I would be perfectly fine with that. I would tell her like, hey, I'm an AKA. Your mother is an illustrious member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I would tell her about my organization, and you know, I would just be like, you know, that makes you a legacy. But it's also these other organizations that are also a part of this illustrious community. And I want you, whenever you get to college, to decide for yourself on if you want to join that organization. You know, I would give her some advice. Obviously, it would probably have changed by the time I have kids. But, you know, just instilling in her, like, this is my organization. If you want to be a part of it, you do have a good chance. You're a legacy. But I don't want her to think like, oh, just because I'm a legacy, I have a for sure shot. No, you don't. Because I know some legacies that had to go out a couple times to get their letters, honey. Just for dumb shit. But yeah, so I wouldn't force her to join AKA just because I'm an AKA. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm about, like, people deciding for themselves, you know? People living for themselves and doing for themselves. And I wouldn't want to force her into feeling like she has to do it. So when he kept going on and on about, oh, like, sorry guys, when he kept going on and on about, like, oh, like, yeah, like, I can't believe that. And I was just like, dude, it's a Zeta Amik guy, not an actual, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how it works, so I'm not gonna speak for it, but it's just like, he just did it way too much. And I was just like, okay, nice talking to you, you know? Because I didn't want to go back and forth with people. Just because it wasn't like, it's not like who I am, and I can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I can't really sit up here and be like, oh yeah, like, I'm your legacy, continue to, you know, like, no, if it doesn't suit you, if the organization at the school, or just the meaning and the values of the organization, if it doesn't, you know, relate to you, if it doesn't make you happy, don't just do it because your family is a part of it, you know? And I kind of felt like when the girl that emailed me, when she was telling me about her situation, she just made it seem like she was so gun-ho on, you know, doing this organization and being a part of it only because of her family. Like, she wasn't doing it because she actually wanted to do it. And she said that, and she was like, how do I go about this? And I just told her, like, one, do not try to make nobody happy, because if you try to make other people happy instead of yourself, you're not going to be happy. Simple. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not rocket science. So I just told her, like, if you want to go for it because you want to do it, then do it. You know what I'm saying? But don't do it if you feel like you're not going to like it, or you don't like the girls already, or you don't like what the organization stands for, because at the end of the day, it's a lifelong commitment. It's a lifelong commitment. And you can't get that time or that money back. You just can't. You just honestly can't. So yeah, so it was just like trying to explain to her without forcing her hand and, you know, making her feel like she has to do it. Because I reassure her so many times. I was like, well, I'm not a legacy. And like, now you guys, y'all send some of the longest emails, and I just be like, I'm not finna text you right back. I'm not finna respond back in a long message. So here's my number. Text me, and I'm gonna send you a voice message. Like, I literally say that to so many people that email me. I'm just like, here, just text me, so I can have your number, and I'll send you a voice message, because what I have to say is so much more. Like, I don't want to type it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all have gotten my number, all of this stuff. But yeah, it's just like, I don't want to speak on something I can't really speak on, even though I'm speaking on something that I can't speak on, or not that I can't, but that I don't relate to. Let's say that. So yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a tough conversation. I would just tell them, hey, I'm not interested in your organization. These are my reasons. I'm interested in this organization, or I'm not interested in no organization at all. I hope you can support my decision. But don't let nobody force you or back you into a corner to do something that you don't want to do, because you're ultimately going to be not happy. Now, some people do find friendships and, you know, stuff like that after they join, even though they didn't want to. But at the end of the day, it's a lifelong commitment, you know, and you don't want to commit to something that you're not going to be completely faithful to, or completely committed to, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was kind of like vague, just because I am not a legacy, but I would just have an open and honest conversation and be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to live with everybody that you're around all the time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.